There's a lot for OG to play with once you get out of the laning stage and past mid.
Can you think of like who most people put at the, taking that TI championship? I think LGD, OG, Spirit are probably the three most talked about names, with, two of those teams winning majors throughout the year. Then the third, PSG.LGD, being a staple of the Dota 2 scene, winning numerous LAN events, third-party tournaments, and other than the Arlington Major, they've actually had Spirit's number throughout the year. So we'll see if they can bounce back after that poor start to day one. Definitely got themselves a solid draft here, I feel like, in game number 1 against OG.
Yeah, absolutely do.
Where are you watching?
You're going to start with an early D ward. Tiger with an identical move to what he's made in several of his previous games. It's that move from Dire side towards the Radiant bottom jungle. He loves that staircase, and it looks like LGD have watched a few replays. They knew it was coming. They're already prepped with a sentry and a couple of heroes waiting atop the ramp for him. A good start already.
If there's any kind of lane swaps or anything, the big question for me was like, do you consider sending Void to the offlane? I think the SF matchup is just not much better than the Venom, so maybe a case where they just hope that Yuragi can play catch-up Dota. We'll have Empower to play around later on too, so 3 rune battles here. They go in onto Yuragi, loses the right-click battle to Wise Undying, and we'll take a bit of damage as well.
And chased back. Forced to time walk early on as well. It looks like he's even thinking about the lane swap. Pretends to go to the top lane, and he's starting to wander down bottom. So they are going to go for a bit of a shift here, OG.
Yep.
But LGD have lane wards. LGD will see bottom lane when he arrives. Maybe even see him in that bottom rune spot if he traverses down there. They'll absolutely know what's going on here.
If I'm LGD, I'm fine with these lanes. Like, you already see, if they wanted to swap as well, they should already be moving. I think you're saying, Void has a bad lane regardless. The SF one is just slightly less bad, but given that Void's playing the off lane and it's going to arrive late, SF is going to already have built up a bit of a CS advantage. This bottom lane should still favor LGD.
Another situation where support's getting a little bit of farm. Misha getting a last hit there, a bit of experience before Yuragi arrives at that bottom lane. And level 1 in the Nether ward. I try and contend with a bit of spam coming out of Armor Engine Q, but there's a stun into one raise. Looking for the short range one, but couldn't get in range. Yuragi with no time walk though, just gonna get chased down and right clicked for first blood for LGD.
And they leave it for the SF. That's so nice for them. He'd use time walk just to undo some of the raise damage in lane, and that level 1 time walk is such a long cooldown that LGD are able to punish them. This is kind of what I touched upon. Like, there is no good side lane for the boy. I mean, the mid lane's also bad. There's just no good lane for this Void to go to. He's just in for a rough time. They're picking him for the mid to late game team fights, but it does look like Yuragi's going to be suffering.
Jin Q fake pumps the stun, a deny on the Nether ward, in fact, at the end there from OG. Yeah, difficult lane bottom, and top lane they're being dived as well. Amar is about to drop here. No deny from Tiger. There's a tombstone and a gale from Y and Faith Beyond. And a big juicy wave arriving on this tier 1 means Razor here needs to be quickly back into lane.
And that's what feels so good about this LGD draft is, like, the Venom's really happy playing against a Razor. It's, often in the past been considered one of the good counter picks to Razor if you are playing it in lane. So they've got 2 side lanes, regardless of how OG, laned it, they were going to be at an advantage on the LGD side.
Yeah, and then by extension, they know these supports aren't going to be rotating into mid, so Pango against Magnus is going to be a bit of a farm trade. As BZM, nice play there with a shockwave to secure the water rune. He is about a wave ahead of Nothing to Say, but not a massive gap between them, and probably no real outplays to be made here, right? You've got Swash to contend with any skewer play. There's going to be hitting creeps for the first 6 minutes.
Yeah, the thing is, a farm battle, one that Magnus is more than happy to play and win because of all that bonus damage. Seeing on 96 damage, the Pango 66. How BZM fares here. It should just be a pretty farm game until these supports start thinking about rotating.
Oh, OG with a good bit of damage onto Armate. Needs some tangos from Jin Q. Curious to see how that all played out. It looks like it started with a Jin Q go with a stun and an attempt on Yuragi. Gotta be wary of that Nether ward. It's one of those unexpected tools sometimes.
Oh God. Boy.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's thinking he's got time walk, but the quick raises just blow him up. Triple raise and you're done.
On top lane.
Top lane, yeah.
Taken down, but Amar dead again. 4-0 start. 1 kill goes
Tiger's feasting though.
Tiger, that big punches. 142 bonus damage. Loses the buff though, so why? Back in the tree. Oh, he turned the kill. Dies to the tower in the end, so a 2 for 2 in the top lane. Massive fight between the two squads there.
I'm pretty sure Undying lives if he keeps running, but he turned because he thought he had the better attack animation and would attack first, but the ET just gets the punch in before the Undying could hit him, so... Oh, unfortunate for him. TP mid though, Dying as a support, always mid laners are happy. Gets the free bottle refill, and there's a lot of creeps that were waiting for the Venom in the top lane, so he TP'd into like a double creep wave to farm.
Oh, very nice. Nice for him. Where's Y wandering now? Got an interesting obs ward placed there. That just gives a little glimpse of vision.
The kill bottom. Yep.
Oh, the raise.
Triple raise. Yep. Hit the double close range, and then he backed off for the long range, and Dragi trying to punish. Needs a lucky bash though, and he's just not getting it. The level 1 bash, only 12%, and he's no spirit breaker.
No, he's definitely not. Well, Amar dead once more. Faint beyond and Y, they turn back to that lane, collapse on the Razor, while Tiger, he was elsewhere. Difficult times for OG.
Yeah, all these kills going LGD's way in the lane stage, but at the same time, I think the net worth indicator is kind of where you have to look a bit. You don't mind giving up some kills if you're getting farmed, but they are being out farmed, particularly the Razor, I think, having a rough time here. That's the TP back to lane again. It's definitely at least a little bit of a concern if you're an OG fan.
And it's BZM making the calls like, just drag it out, it's fine, I'm getting my farm. I'll get my items. What kind of progression will we see from BZM though? Is this one of those, you know, Echo Saber Magnuses with a big damage? Should we go Blink with Force utility? What do you reckon?
I'm expecting more of utility. You've got Razor as well as Void on your team. I think playing around the, you know, your Blink Skewer initiations is going to make a lot more sense. For now, he's just leveling up in power though, so. But I think like Blink, even EKB type build is going to be what makes the most sense this game.
Okay, yeah, well, a DD here. Gathered up by Y, throws the Tombstone and the Rolling Thunder into BZM. Tries to skewer away, but nothing to say. He's got his number and tracks back onto the Magnus.
Killing a mid laner there. Oh, and he gets the +1. Great find for nothing to say. Yeah, I think for BZM going for that rune, he knew he could get there before the Pengo, so he kind of, you know, he forces Undying to pick it up, and then you're just giving Undying like all these right clicks plus the Rolling Thunder. He had no real escape from it, so bit of a overly aggressive play there, I think, from the Magnus. Maybe not recognizing that Pengo was already level 6.
And it doesn't feel like they've got a great way as OG to relieve this pressure. Amara just dying again top. He's got Faith Beyond with his Urn, using his charges and the poison attacks to take down Razor for the 4th time this game. Really a struggle in these lanes from OG, and this is the snowball that we were expecting and LGD kind of required in the first 10 minutes. But what's the response? Like, there's no, you know, Earth Spirit Tusk kind of hero. There's no real form of teamfight or initiation until OG get levels and items.
The response is to hit some creeps. That's empower up your Void, stack some camps, jungle it up, and avoid fighting LGD. You've got, you know, a Venom who's going to have full control of this top lane. He went for 2-2 before deciding to level up Plague Wards. I like it. And also got a value point in Poison Nova. That's how he got that kill. I feel like so many Venoms skip Poison Nova, but great to see him go for that. But here's the move from OG. Oh my god, that Pango.
But Pango with a big swash and a Rolling Thunder or Arme skewered across into the RP from BZM. Jinq already dead after dropping low under the tower, and OG enough damage to bring down the Nyx and the Shadow Fiend while not losing anyone yet. Misha heals up, back off his wand, and Y getting chased down with a shockwave and a play forward from Uragi. They get the kills they need. 10-5 now, and OG a bit of a response, looking for nothing to say. He's got no swatch, no Rolling Thunder. Shield Crash gives him a ton of block on that damage incoming, and Jinq with the 3-man stun. Holds back OG, but they are not giving up on this. Chasing back into the tree line. Finally, Misha will die to nothing to say, but a skewer onto Jinq, opening up a potential kill on the Nyx. BZM wants it desperately, but now Faith.Beyond's joined the fray, battling away onto the Magnus, looking for the pick-off, and he'll find it with his dominating streak going. And Jin-Q, he lines a stun up onto the Faithless Void. No stuns coming from LGD though, so a time walk back allows the Void to slip away from their grasps.
I've never seen one like you before.
Once the vendor shows up, the party's over for OG, but up until that point, it was a stellar team fight for them. It looked like Pango was going to eat them alive. He had multiple swashbuckles that connected on like 2-3 heroes and got them incredibly low, but he didn't have the ability to finish any of them off, and OG just kind of were taking LGD down one by one and going from one kill to the next, just bringing superior numbers, something I didn't expect them to make such an aggressive move. That was like a level 5 Faceless Void taking a 4v4 fight under an enemy tier 1 tower. That's kind of unheard of, but that's the OG way.
Yeah, it's mental stuff. You know? Just OG with this overwhelming knowledge of team fight maths or something like this. Okay, we have this hero, this spell, we can do this and dive under tower, it's all fine. Knowing what's going on.
Dire's bottom tower.
But as soon as they respawn LGD, they're back out on the map, hunting BZM with the Pango and the Nyx. Can't catch up to the Magnus quite yet, but this is just the barrier in front of Arme's SF. They've given him some stacks in the jungle, he's cleared through them, still has a large camp to farm and mid lane to push out. So a lot of focus here for the Shadow Fiends farm now for LGD.
Yeah, the Master Man is really saying, I'm going to look to guarantee and scale into the late game, not going for any kind of early BKB. Going to play that true late game hard carry. You've got Pango Venue, you've got so much ability to pressure these early towers and parts of the map. As mid lane they'll find Misha.
Good catch. Take down the Pugna. Can't really use this as a platform to go do anything else, just to kill for kill's sake.
Lose the Undying. Bash? Oh, first Eddie Chronos. Oh, he didn't believe in the bash. Yeah, why tips him? it was literally like 0.1 second on the TP, so he didn't believe in the bash, so he just insta-casted Chrono with the right click.
LGD gonna get some recourse though. Take down Tiger in the bottom lane. I was thinking it's a bit of an awkward spot for Faith.Beyond. You know, he TP'd bottom to get involved with that fight, which was nice, but then he got a bit stuck in this bottom lane. Not really where you want your Venno to be. You'd much rather him pressuring the opposing tier 1. But the fact that they get this tower now means there's a lot of space to invade this Ancients area, scout out a stack, and Jin-Q, he spotted BZM and Misha.
Yeah, and playing against Empower Magnus, he's a hero that wants to farm these stacks. They do see Jin-Q here. He's on a Sentry Ward, so trying to bait this a bit.
He gets off his carapace though. Skewer back, already spending the RP and the shockwave, and BZM close to death. Well, nothing to say, thinking about the play forward, has another swashbuckle to finish off Misha's Pugna. LGD bring the numbers, 4 members of the Chinese squad in the mid lane and looking to pressure tier 1 again.
They can get this early tier 1 tower fighting it. I think anywhere the Venno goes, you just can't really contest if you're OG. Maybe with like the big team fight ultimates, but Chrono's down, RP's down now. So this should just be a free tier 1 for the Venomancer, and very likely he goes for that top tier 1 tower that you were talking about. Just making, you know, once you TP bottom to secure that fight, you may as well stick around, get the tower there. Your TP's on cooldown, and then he takes the tier 1 mid along their way to the top lane. So just efficient moves coming out from Faith.Beyond.
Let's take control of this map. DQ now putting himself in that top jungle, trying to see if OG are gonna launch a counter attack and defend top, but with Void TPing out, looks like he's giving up any idea of defending. Just get what farm you can, get some utilization out of this Hand of Midas and the Empower. Keep scaling.
They need RP, Blink Dagger before they can really try and defend objectives, I think, which they're just about to get. They're going to lose ET down bottom, PSG.LGD. They make the move top, but it was, you know, just enough heroes to take the tier 1 tower while still aggressively using Vendetta to find a kill down bottom at the same time. So they're just doing a great job playing multiple lanes, not overcommitting resources to one part of the map. When you've got this Venno, you don't need to bring 5 to push a tower. Just do it with 2 or 3 and look for these kills elsewhere.
They're going for it. With the Undying and the Venno, they feel like they've got enough damage through the Shadow Fiend, just rip through Roshan. 13 minutes in, we're going to have Aegis here for LGD.
Give them the Aegis is nice, but this also just means you take Roach this early, that second Roach with a free shot comes up that much earlier as well. So, because this is not an Aegis that's going to, it'll allow them to play super aggressive far from the enemy side of the map, take these, probably a tier 2 tower with it, which gets them the enemy outpost, but they're just playing their draft at a pace that OG cannot match because of really just the greed. They've got, you know, they've got a Midas on Void. I think that's the right item pickup, but they've got 3 farming cores. BZM does have the Blink Dagger, and he's going BKB next, so he's trying to be the selfless core, but he's looking around like, well, my Void and, you know, my Razor, they're not really ready to fight, at least not until Razor is BKB.
Yeah, all 3 of the Dire cores hovering around 3,000 net worth. Well, you look at the SF, even the Venoman says 7.5 grand to Faith Bian's name. Very quickly closing in on a Wraith Pact on top of the Spirit Vessel, so going double utility here on Veno.
Radiant's feels really nice.
Under attack.
You're gonna smoke though. 3 heroes sat behind Yuragi.
Carapace.
Dire's top tower.
Yeah, Jinkyu's out of there.
It's hard for OG. They're trying to find pickoffs. Even with these smokes, they don't really want a full 5-on-5 fight. Go back to the Wraith Pack. It just feels so nice because OG's draft is so like 5v5 teamfight heavy. Mitigate so much damage, and when you've got this gold lead to go with it, it just makes it so dangerous for OG, and they're getting picked apart now.
Yeah, good patience from Jinkyu, waiting for his team to arrive. Even holding that stun as Amar was doing a few little shimmies to try and dodge it. But the next assassin, ever patient. This map starts to become pretty small for OG. You know, the greed not paying off just yet. It's a 7k lead for LGD and limited places to farm for Yuragi.
This is where the Nyx assassin feels so nice because you can be pushing out like multiple lanes with Veno, with Pengo, and Nyx is just going to be vendettaing around the map trying to find the kills because OG are going to go. They're going to go wherever LGD are not. They're not looking to defend against this Veno. They're looking to farm the opposite side of the map, and Nyx is the perfect hero to go and hunt down enemy farmers.
Dan, we often joke about the farming Aegis. Usually that occurs when, you know, a team isn't really able to go and push or anything, but this is literally just Shadow Fiend making sure he has a second life if he does get caught out or a sneaky smoke comes out of OG. He just planted himself in his Ancients, farming away up to 9,000 net worth, but the jump in from BZM top, catching out the Veno into the life drain. Nothing to say, it's taken down Amar already though, as Faith Bian falling near that tier on top. LGD, you're gonna move in quickly though, time to dive. BZM swashbuckled down, the life drain won't heal him up anywhere near enough, and nothing to say with why. They've got the gap close onto Misha. Hugner's stranded, and Jinkyu secures it with a stun.
Tiger's still in the neighborhood playing around a Vision and Ward. He gets stunned up, still has a TP out. And they know there's a ward up here. Yeah, they're gonna get the D ward, and they're gonna find Tiger. Pale up in a second, so they'll finish off a 4th hero. Not a good fight for OG. It was a fight they chose to take because they knew they were creating a lot of space for the Void down bottom, who did get the tier 1 tower and is getting a lot of farm, but seeding up so many kills to a Shadow Fiend plus the tier 2 tower is still not going to feel worth it if you're OG.
I mean, the panel, we're talking about Arme needing to show up in some of these games. He's got a lot of farm here. We'll see how much impact he can have. Really defending himself with that up next item, BKB. Trying to withstand some of OG's teamfight prowess.
Definitely Zhao Wei with the draft is showing up, as is Faith Bian. His Veno has been the kind of tempo setter.
Tier 2, their prize to claim in the mid lane. Having already taken top and the outpost. Just a systematic dismantling of OG. And a high ground tombstone leading into an impale from Nyx. Misha, half HP from just zombies. Drops down the Verdurous Dale. A bit of heal there, but OG retreating. Every step is a slow shuffle back towards their base.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Give up the tier 2 tower, unable to fight. The RP was still on cooldown. And it's, even with the RP, it's so hard to get off. Playing in a Veno with these like Blink initiators can sometimes feel really rough.
Arme's found his new home. Enemy Ancients. Get some more neutral items in his hands. And I'm assuming BKB is about to be delivered.
Yeah. Very methodical from LGD. It's one of these classic games where first you get first Aegis as early as possible, and you use it to take these out of tier 2 towers, get outposts, and they're gonna maybe get Amar here as well. Carapace gonna find him and gets a 2-man impale.
That's just beautiful, isn't it? Really gorgeous from Jinkyu, and the exact move that you were talking about. They're pushing mid, they're farming enemy Ancients, pushing bottom. Every lane there's a hero from LGD showing. So OG, that bit of false sense of security, thinking, okay, we've got room top, we've got a bit of space, and there's just a Nyx waiting for you.
Well, they're pinging out now. Uragi and BZM, who are trying to get some farm here. Faith Beyond gonna push them out of the triangle, but fortunately for OG, they've already farmed it up, so getting scraps of gold they can get, and may look to take this team fight. They're grouping up here.
They're kind of ready for this, though. LGD in the vicinity of Jinkyu. He's not going to get caught out by anything here until the bashes from Uragi. They've got the mech from the Undying. The Chrono lands in onto the Undying and Shadow. Damn it. Jinkyu finally dies, but Uragi and BZM, they're dropping so quickly. Tiger and Midge are trapped in the tree line. Nothing to say. Slices through one. And Tiger with a TP home, successfully escaping. But LGD, another swift, domineering performance in... I struggle to call that a team fight. That is a curb stomping from LGD.
Yeah, they just were so well split up. Like, even with 2 heroes in the Chronosphere, Faith Beyond, the real damage dealer, he's positioned on this, like, high ground cliff in some trees, just throwing out spells, vessels, plague wards, and being an absolute pest. We'll see it all here again. But Nyx Assassin, being as farmed as he is, and the front lines just using these carapaces so well. And yeah, to the top side, you see this Venom. The Venom positioning just absolutely perfect this fight.
Yeah. Yeah, right on top of that cliff top. And maxed out carapace on the Nyx. Very irritating here. As we saw, like, BZM's move there where he tried to blink past the Nyx. He was looking for that +1 to try and skewer RP. But LGD's positioning there, their spread of heroes, there weren't even a pairing of heroes to catch together. They finally got an opportunity when SF stepped next to the Undying to get a Chrono, but then they were lacking damage, lacking heroes. OG spend quite a lot there for no return. Will grab their outpost top, but LGD, they don't relinquish control of the map. You know, every inch of the map is worth a fight for them. They can come up, de-ward, get the outpost back in their hands, and start thinking about this next Roshan. Potentially up in just under a minute. Yeah, having second Roche spawn so early, and that's so much the value of killing Roche at 13 minutes in as early as they did, is they're thinking, you know, Roche number 2 is when we can, if things go according to plan, which they have, and you keep on getting all these good fights, you keep pushing the tempo, you're going to be ready to go high ground. With second Aegis, it also involves a free shard for Shadow Fiend, who's such an amazing shard carrier that it feels like PSG.LGD are going to be posing a real threat to OG's high ground defense. Yeah, it's one of these kind of smokes, kind of needed from OG. They need that element of surprise. Wrapping around and stomping, attempting to catch Nothing to Say, but he's got his shard, so the quick roll up and a disengage from LGD. Nobody getting caught.
Yeah, Nyx did a good job. Popped a Mars smoke and then just backed off, and I knew Nyx was somewhere nearby, but weren't able to find him once again. It's one of those things where if Nyx pops these smokes and dies, like, that's almost doing your job as well. And speaking of doing his job, he's found the Faceless Void pre-BKB. Ooh.
I'll go for Misha instead. A freebie there on the Pugna. And Nothing to Say beyond godlike. 10-0-7 on this Pangolier right now.
Just trying to carapace like a Maelstrom proc there maybe on the Faceless Void. Although it didn't look like Void just wasn't getting any Maelstrom procs.
Bad RNG paying off.
Yeah.
Oh, 1 minute for Roshan. Big fan of LGD here, coming and de-warding the enemy Ancient, still holding that Observer Ward on the high ground in the top jungle area. And he's noticed me pings, you know, why, bringing attention to areas of the map that he wants his team to be playing into. It looks like
big kill, they can get it.
He gets off his BKB. Chrono comes along with a static link, and Amar's walked into the Chronosphere here, so maybe with the heals we are dying to buy time for Armate to escape. Gets him a bit of distance. Requiem is in time. No, not quite. In comes Nothing to Say, but he's bouncing off the cliffs. They'll finish off the Razor, and Uragi, time walking back, tries to TP, but the zombies and Jinkyu's jump will secure them. 2 kills in the trade for Armate's SF.
They make sure they still get the good trade, but losing the Shadow Fiend, you know, not quite according to plan, but they are still biding their time, waiting for this next Roach to respawn, and they're not done hunting quite yet. Tiger will TP out from the trees unless the bash hits him, but Nothing to Say guesses wrong.
Faith Beyond tracking back, nearly keeping tabs on him.
Ah, yes, classic DD spawn by the Roach pit.
Yeah, that's normal.
Yep.
SF 15 seconds away from respawning. But how are we looking on OG's ultis? Like 100 seconds for Chrono? They still have RP? They can contest this? Can they?
I mean, they have the right heroes for it. It's just whether they have the farm and the ability to kind of contest into like the Venom vision with the wards. Will you even be able to blink in? They're using the Spirit to keep scouting it out, but There we go, bottle up the DD rune. We'll see if he holds on to it or if he uses it for this Roche. It looks like he wants to save it for a team fight.
Oh goodness, yeah, look at how quickly they kill it even without the DD.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That's some serious pain. And, you know, level 17 SF means we've got the level 15 talent, so we're going to have plenty of ability to start pressuring these objectives. Going high ground's always the tough aspect. We've got a Magnus with Blink Skewer, going for an Aether Lens even to go with it.
Yeah, Shard on the SF though with Aegis and the bottle DD you mentioned. Also, I like the play there for Jin-Q. We see it quite often, just launching out a seemingly random stun into the dying Roshan, but he's making sure there's no blink steal or attempted sneaky play from OG.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Support comes running in for a suicide to get it, to deny Aegis play.
Yeah.
Dire are scanning.
Swinging bot. BZM has used his blink. It's on cooldown for 10 seconds. But Yuragi is he's under a Radiant Ward. They perfectly see the face of Void, the stun, the chain disables. They caught out the Void, but is there enough damage to finish it before Time Walk? Nothing to say. 3 connections with his Rolling Thunder. Perfectly done off the back of Jin-Q's initiation.
Dire's turret has been killed.
Absolutely flawless movement around the map from LGD. It feels like this game, and they're going to press forward. Double damage SF. Could go for the high ground play now. Got a creep wave coming down mid. It's not the easiest lane to push. Sometimes teams want to prioritize these side lanes, but with Plague Wards and the ability to kind of keep OG back, feels like this should go pretty seamlessly. They've already forced out the glyph. There's that first creep wave, perhaps a bit preemptive from OG, because now LGD are going to look to pressure.
Well, 400 damage ahead. Arme popping away at this tier 3. Yeah. Tombstone on the high ground as well as BZM. Not sure if that was an attempt, but gives it a crack with the initiation.
Yeah, the SF range, he's got the Dragon Lance. He's just able to position far enough back with the support of the Plague Wards. The Plague Wards make it really hard for this Magnus to get in.
No, they get rid of the DD, Blink Yule's in, but the turnaround from Jin-Q, good 4 staff from Tiger. That's BZM away from danger in the meantime, but their racks have fallen. 26 minutes in, your first melee claimed up by LGD. And it really is this algorithmic play from them, you know, from laning stage through to now. It's just been toppling buildings one after the other.
Yep. Void did get out of the base to Midas a creep and is going to have a BKB for this next push that is almost surely coming. I feel like if you're LGD, you're just eyeing off that top lane of Rax. They don't have Pengo. Pengo's gone for the bottom rune. OG take a fight right now. Oh, the window's closing though, and they're being jumped on.
Scouted, caught out by Jin-Q's Nyx. Goes in for a stun and then quickly runs. Trying to keep vision here over Tiger with another Yules, but the catch from BZM sending Jin-Q back towards tier 3, but you've got the poison over the Plague Wards and all the damage from the Venom. Well, Arme's outside of the Chrono. Yuragi tried just to control and nothing to say, while Amar diving it onto the SF, draining all of its damage. Yuragi back in, but Arme's got this Mask of Madness going. The BKB's up, getting bashed in the meantime. Needs a bit of help from his team, but Yuragi focusing SF. They've lost too much. They can't finish him off. Arme survives, and their cores have all died. GG is called, and game 1, it's over.
Yeah, the carries on the front line just didn't have the supports that should go for some last piece here, but Pengo got the entire back line. His Blink Rolling Thunder